Hey, what's up, guys? This is Alex on Casuals, and today we're going to be playing Rise of Kingdoms. So for today's video, I actually want to talk about the commanders a little bit, but more specifically the Peacekeepers. So peacekeeping is basically a talent tree that some commanders have that's more focused towards the PvE aspect, more specifically towards the barbarians. Now it's pretty uncommon for a peacekeeping tree to be full in this section. The more important ones are the insight buff that reduces the number of AP that you require to attack barbs, and the one that increases the experience, the quick study, and then the one that gives you a loot box basically every time you kill them. Now one of the other things that you need to do if you want to maximize your AP is you want to click this hold position after attack checkbox, mainly because the more consecutive attacks you do on barbs without returning your army to your base first is going to reduce the AP cost by a few points. So like a peacekeeping commander is going to take you 40 points initially, and then after multiple attacks it's going to stop reducing up to 30 points. So I actually forgot to mention one thing is that the peacekeeping tree is also going to impact whenever you join a rally. So in this case, if I want to join this rally, if I take this commander, it would cost me 150 AP. Like you can see over here, and then if I swap it over and get a peacekeeping commander that has the talent tree with the reduction, it goes to 140. So it doesn't seem like much, but I would definitely do this change. Now if you really truly want to maximize your AP, obviously try to always target the higher level barbs, and also try to always have a peacekeeper with you to reduce the AP, but also to give more experience to your other commanders in that march. Now if you really want to be extreme, you can run only one march if you want, so that way the initial cost reduction is not going to apply on like 3 or 4 marches. In my case, I'm not going to do that because I don't really want to min-max all that much. I think it's just a bit too much. I'm going to run multiple marches, and I'm always going to try and get peacekeeping commanders as the primary commander, and the secondary commander is going to be more a commander I want to level up. So in this case, I actually swapped off Lohar, and the main reason I'm swapping off Lohar is because he's level 50, and I don't want to spend more stars to upgrade him to the next tier of levels, So yeah, right now this costing me like 40 AP per commander instead of 50, since these are all peacekeeping commanders that have been like talented this way. Now if I decide to attack this second barb, it costed 38 per commander instead of 40, and this goes on until you reach 30 points of AP per commander that are peacekeeping commanders. And there's a big bunch of people here, and this is kill event right now, so I'm not sure I'm feeling really safe right now. I might have to recall to my base, although there is no combat in the territory, but we'll see what happens. I actually don't trust these guys not at all. At least most of the army is over there. Hi guys! Now if you take a look at the reports for the barbs that we just did, they each receive different bit of experience a little bit because each of these commanders have their own passive type of buffs. So Boudicca has a XP buff that she gives as well as her talent. The same can be said by Aethelflaed. And Cao Cao does not have that, so he gives it a little bit less. The best peacekeeping commander, in my opinion, is probably Lohar, because he's literally built to be fighting barbs, and also he has the biggest, the skill that gives the most experience bonus to the commanders that's marching with him. So, and then after Lohar, the second commander that gives the most XP, I think, if I'm not wrong, is Aethelflaed. With her this start ability up to a total of 35% XP buff, and then afterwards it is Boudicca with a 20% from this second skill over here. So one of the other important thing that you really must be careful of if you really want to use the value of peacekeeping and stuff is try to avoid matching your peacekeeping commanders that give XP bonus between each other. Like, do not run Lohar and like Aethelflaed together, for example, or stuff like this, because one day once that Lohar is going to be 60, or if that Aethelflaed is 60, like she's not going to gain any experience anymore, so that XP is going to be wasted. And so yeah, you don't want to rush her to like 60, for example. Just take your time and level up all your other commanders as much as possible with them. And on a side note and on a closing note, try to avoid using AP potions on doing barbs unless there's a specific event that's going to increase the value of using AP potions. But generally speaking, you should really try to save most of your AP potions for the pre-KVK event and the KVK event, as you will need to gather a lot of honor and stuff. So don't go too nuts on some of the AP events that you will encounter in between KVKs. Now I'm going to briefly show you guys the time trees that I use for my peacekeeping commanders. Although they may not be like the very best one, in my opinion, they're pretty optimal and they're pretty useful. In this case, Boudicca I'm going to try and get Feral Nature eventually, but it's a pretty far off in the skill tree. And almost all my peacekeeping commanders have like the same or very similar type of build. Lohar is maybe the exception since he has a few points in support for Rejuvenate, which is really good. But eventually I'm going to try and get most of the peacekeeping tree with Lohar, because it's really his only purpose in my opinion. Cao Cao is maybe a bit different as a peacekeeper. You do want to get the basic stuff and the march speed, but he's more like a mobility character, and I use him a lot for just KVK and not KVK, I mean kill events. I mean, I'll use him in KVK too, obviously, but just not as a primary. Finally, Aethelflaed. She's still pretty low level in my case. I was trying to bottleneck her leveling a little bit just so that it could get more golden stars, well, first of all, and also so that I could try to increase her third skill a bit more, but I decided to just max her up a bit more. And since, I mean, the XP is nice, but it's not like, you're not gonna have that much experience issues like leveling up your commanders, especially if you do guardians like on a daily basis. Finally, one of the characters that I currently do not run as a peacekeeping commander, even though he is one, is Minamoto. I'm using him more like a open field commander, or like so I can use him well in Sunset Canyon also and stuff like this. So right now he's more like into warfare than actually peacekeeping, but it's possible that eventually late game, once we're gonna do like higher barb fort levels that are getting hard, I might consider respecting him like between skill and peacekeeping and not skill and cavalry. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Have a good day.